Welcome, everybody. My name is Michael, and today we're discussing about Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX, and a new charge. Oh, yes, he's facing 13 counts of indictments. This time, he's bribed a Chinese official with $40 million to unfreeze $1 billion through a hedge fund. SBF is expected to be arraigned on the new and 13th indictment on Thursday before the U.S. District Judge Louis Kaplan in a Manhattan federal court. He intends to plead not guilty. As with the others, he did the exact same. And right now, it's not looking so pretty for him. He is facing a life sentence behind bars, which also goes to show you that in America, financial crimes, non-violent crimes at that, around the world, in the Netherlands or Norway, well, mainly in Europe, I don't know if I'd necessarily want to spend time in a South African or a Brazilian prison, but in Europe, most of these prisons are right. And most of these countries, there were a lot of people who did pretty bad things and even violent crimes, and they got out after 5, 7, 10 years because their focus is actually on rehabilitation, where in the U.S. it's just, well, it's a for-profit prison system for the most part, and in many cases you are screwed. You are SOL. There's nothing you can do once you get out, unless maybe you're in a position like SBF where you have a very valuable skill set, and depending on how much time he would actually spend in jail. But it's not looking so hot right now, but if he ever was to come out, he would probably have a chance of still making it rich because he's got connections and wealthy family. But for the average person in prison, that's it. You are in, and there's nothing you can do. And once you're in that system, that's why you have so many repeat offenders. Anyways, so Mr. Kaplan, the judge, he approved modifications to Sam Bankman-Fried's $250 million bail package. The new indictment said SBF had ordered a $40 million cryptocurrency payment to a private wallet from Alameda's main trading account to persuade Chinese government authorities to unfreeze Alameda accounts with more than $1 billion of cryptocurrency. They had been frozen as part of an investigation into an unnamed Alameda counterparty. And Bankman-Fried's prior efforts to lobby Chinese officials to lift the freeze were unsuccessful, so he was hoping $40 million would work towards his favor. China's foreign ministry could not immediately be reached. That's interesting. They don't want to talk. They definitely aren't interested in, the Chinese embassy is not interested. China doesn't care. They have much larger problems, and they're not really friendly with America in certain cases. So, and that they, again, this is small beans for them. SBF has not been yet arraigned regarding these finance or bribery conspiracy charges. He pled guilty to 8 of the 13 charges thus far. And again, the latest one, the 9th one, planning to plead guilty, a insider said. He has acknowledged inadequate risk management at FTX, but he has denied pretty much everything else in regards to stealing money. And right now, Caroline Ellison, Gary Zxiao Wang, and former FTX engineering director Nishad Singh. So you have the former CEO of Alameda, former FTX technology chief officer, and the former FTX engineering director. They have all pleaded guilty. They've all agreed to cooperate with prosecutors, and they're facing reduced charges, which that is not going well for SBF. Again, he's seriously facing some charges here, unless he decides to turn everything around and rant on who knows who, because this is not the mafia. It's a cryptocurrency exchange that was run by a bunch of young adults in the Bahamas. It's tough to see how this can end really well for him at this point. It keeps getting worse and worse. And again, there's going to be very strict punishments. Sam kind of messed up by not escaping the Bahamas when he could have. I'm sure he was under surveillance at one point or another, but there probably was a period of time where he knew the feds were going to come down on him and hard, and he could have escaped with the money he had. And even with most of the funds being frozen, he still would have access to millions of dollars because, again, he was dealing with billions. So you can move to many countries and be fine, move to Russia or whatever, no extradition. But he did not do that. And it seems like he's blissfully unaware, or he just doesn't care about the circumstances he's found himself in. So he's currently at his parents' house. He's confined there in Palo Alto, California. His trial is coming up October 2nd. His revised bail conditions prevent him from using most electronics, apart from a phone with no internet capability and a basic laptop with limited functions. This laptop will have monitoring software to track user activity. And this comes amid facing crypto crackdowns around the world. These past couple of days have been crazy. We're going to discuss this more in depth in other videos, but Binance has gotten into a little bit of hot water, and they were sued yesterday by the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. They sued Binance, and there was a whole lot of revealing things in there, and it's an exchange. There's a lot of people who are freaking out regarding Binance, but Binance isn't going down because it's on a global scale, and their U.S. branch, they could care less. It's like the Amazon. I think they are at that point where they're too big to fail, because if they fail, then crypto is in some serious hot water. And now the SEC is planning to sue Coinbase. And on top of all that, in Montenegro, that's where he was suspected of being, because he was being a little bit foolish. But the Terraform Labs CEO was arrested last Thursday, so there's been a lot of news happening. So Mr. Do Kwon was carrying fake documents while traveling, and he was busted. A lot has been happening with Sam Bankman-Fried. It's not looking hot right now for him. We know that Sam Bankman-Fried is going to be facing some real hard time. Chances are pretty good he's going away unless he does something drastic. With that said, just wanted to thank you so much for watching today's video. Sorry I cut off, and you have a good one. Take care.